SSPTV political analyst Charles McElwee sat down with our Lisa Sugar to talk about some of the big contests on this midterm election day.
This is a huge night, the most significant night we've really had in 2 years since 2016. And there needs to be a disclaimer for this evening. Be prepared for surprises. The surprises may come for Republicans and they could also come for Democrats. And really it all goes back to 2015 with the judicial race. It was an off-year election, 3 open seats in the state Supreme Court. Democrats filled those 3 seats, creating a 5-2 majority for the court earlier this year. They threw out the existing congressional district map, creating a new one, and we will look at the consequences not only of that decision, which was upheld by the U.S. Supreme Court, but also the consequences of off-year elections and how important they really are.
We have some big races to talk about. First up, the governor's race. Governor Tom Wolf being challenged by Scott Wagner.
Yes, 2 products of York County. So you have Tom Wolf, who came in 2014, a self-funder, a businessman, never had any experience in politics, and he's turned out to be this really effective governor in terms of the political scene, especially in his role with redrawing that congressional district map. He's facing Scott Wagner, who pulled off an upset a year later, filling in a special election in the state Senate race. He funds a lot of other elected officials in Pennsylvania, helping them out on their campaigns for Republicans. So it's a battle. You have Tom Wolf, who has the power of incumbency, versus Scott Wagner, who has tried to be a Trump-like figure, but it remains to be seen whether that will work tonight.
So Dan Muser is running against Denny Wolf in the 9th, and then it's incumbent Matt Cartwright with challenger John Schrin in the 8th. Both of these have been pretty high-profile races. We've seen a lot of ads.
Tons of ads, and really significant that we're looking at split Luzerne County now. That's a big deal. I mean, Luzerne County at one point was its own congressional district, and now we're looking at the 9th and 8th, and the 9th, yes. Dan Muser, who was Revenue Secretary under Tom Corbett, he definitely has an advantage based on the composition of that district. Then you look at the 8th with Matt Cartwright, who himself pulled off an upset a few years ago when he beat Tim Holden, a Blue Dog Democrat from Schuylkill County, in the Democratic primary. John Schrin's running a really spirited, viable campaign. He is really resonating with voters who in this region are growing increasingly disaffected and disillusioned with the Democratic Party. So I think we'll be looking at a closer race there, but regardless, both are worth watching this evening.
It's a battle of 2 people from the same area for the United States Senate. We never thought we'd see that. Lou Barletta, who are congressman at the current time for the 10th Congressional District, challenging longtime incumbent U.S. Senator Bob Casey Jr. This has been a big race as well.
So yes, Barletta and Casey, both products of the 8th District, both sons of northeastern Pennsylvania. Casey's running on numerical and fundraising advantage. Barletta is running on passion, his story, and the fact that it was voters in this region who went for Trump and delivered the state to Trump in 2016. Could they flock to Barletta and help him get over in the polls with Casey? We'll find out tonight.
And also we want to mention for state representative in the 119th district, incumbent Gerald Mullery facing a challenge again from Justin Behrens because he challenged him in 2016.
Yes, so Jerry Mullery has the power of incumbency, and yet again as an example that Pennsylvanians, especially in this region, they're ticket splitters. They may be Democrats, but they're not. They don't necessarily have an allegiance to either party. They're typically ideologically agnostic, so they could vote for Trump in the general, support Casey for U.S. Senate, and also support Jerry Mullery for state rep.